Paul Heyman. He's backstage. He's talking to Adam Pearce. And in comes Mr. LA Knight. Paul Heyman was complaining because he got jumped by AJ Styles, by the way, even though he got saved in 0.2 seconds by Superman Jimmy Uso. But
well, that's just a great heel.
So anyway, so LA Knight breaks in and he's like, I want my match with The Miz. I want it. He wants it. Make it official. And he said that, yeah, it's happening next week. So there we go. We got what we wanted. And then Paul is like, oh, wait, look at this sexy man that just walked in. And he just has to like lay it on thick to flirt with Mr. LA Knight. And he's like, hey, I've been a big admirer of your work. I'm a big fan of you, like everything that you do and everything. But he's like, the next time that the guy at the door tells you that I'm in here, knock first. Okay. He's like, do we have an understanding? And LA Knight goes up to his ear, whispers a little sweet nothing. Yeah. And it was like, oh. But what I noticed too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. We do. What I thought was interesting though was when he was like complimenting LA, you could see he was like, oh, you've noticed? Like, you're a fan of mine? He was like, he looked like he was genuinely flattered. And I was like, yeah, LA, people love you. But as I've said with other things like this, maybe in the big scheme of things, this meant nothing, right? But with Triple H, I don't take little moments like this and feel like it doesn't mean anything. I feel like this might have been a setup for something in the future, whether it's a month from now, 6 months from now. I just always want to remember these little moments because it just doesn't feel like a coincidence that they had LA Knight barge into Adam Pearce's office while Paul Heyman was in there and Paul Heyman said all of these things to LA Knight.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think it was an accident. I think it was a purposeful moment. So I'm just curious, what does this mean?
See, to me, what it means is just that it's eventually going to happen. Like, we're eventually going to see LA Knight and Roman Reigns cross paths. That is all it's to. It's just a very early foreshadowing.
And I know there's, people were talking about it last night. I don't know if it was because of this interaction or what, but it's like, okay, well, we need to see LA Knight versus Roman Reigns at some point, which I think is interesting because it makes sense when we're talking about LA Knight's trajectory because, if he's not going to go after the US title, then we're like, okay, well, he has to go for something else. And the only other thing on SmackDown is the undisputed title. So it'll be interesting to see how they could figure out that because obviously Roman's not around as much and he's feuding within the bloodline. So it's like, how would they involve LA Knight? But I'm intrigued.